What is going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing fantastic. Today I'd like to speak to the Jews of America, but more specifically, the Jews stuck in New York City. Now, I'll tell you the truth. New York holds a very special place in my heart, because unfortunately, it's the city where I grew up. But today I'd like to be very straightforward with all of you. New York still has a lot to offer the Jewish community, such as roach and rat infestations, pollution, traffic, affordable housing, Manhattan, garbage lining every street corner, and of course, a very healthy amount of crime and homeless people. Now, even with all of these great features, I do believe New York is about to become a very, very bad place for the Jewish people to live. Now, although many of you thought Mamdani would never win these elections, the facts are he is about to become your next mayor. But instead of Jews packing their bags and heading to the airports to come home to the holiest place on earth, New York Jews have developed a quite common Jewish disease known as antisemitic denial syndrome. It's where people like Hitler or Mamdani can get up at a podium and openly declare their hatred and plans to eradicate the Jewish people. And the Jewish response is that it can't and won't happen here. I'm not going to waste any time showing you the clips or interviews with Mamdani clearly expressing his Jew hatred, because I assume everyone has already seen enough of such videos and articles. All I will say for now is Mamdani is a Muslim who clearly, strongly believes, as all good Muslims do, that the core of his existence is to globalize the Intifada. For those who don't know what that means, Intifada means an uprising, or as the politically correct folk like to say, resistance. It sounds less offensive, I suppose. Either way, what it means is the simple Muslim belief that in order to rectify the world, everyone needs to be Muslim. And as their so-called prophet Muhammad taught, if the people don't become Muslim by choice, then you force it upon them by any means necessary. The only difference between Mamdani and any of the jihadist terrorists in Gaza is that he wears a suit and tie. But make no mistake, their mission is exactly the same. They just take different approaches for different communities. As many of you have probably seen what England and France looks like, where at this point they are literally arresting Jews for being Jewish, New York will surpass them in just a matter of weeks, with Mamdani as their mayor. Now, I don't believe for a second that Mamdani will come into office and immediately start commanding police officers to arrest or kill Jews, at least not right away. But just like the Crown Heights riots, he will let the Muslims of New York have free reign over the streets. They can protest, riot, burn down Jewish businesses, beat people in the streets, and all Mamdani will do is make sure that the police don't get involved. He will slowly but surely make sure that many yeshivos and shuls struggle to stay open. But don't worry, it won't be due to antisemitism. He will do it all under the label of anti-Zionism, which of course, as we all know, is completely different. And if you think he won't get away with it, I assure you he will. Because don't forget, the people of New York were the very same people who elected him, knowing full well what he stands for. And of course, for many, the response to this is complete denial. On the front cover of this last issue of Mishpacha magazine, they quote, "We've faced anti-Semites before, and we've become best of friends. Could it happen with Mamdani?" Well, let me answer that for you. No, it can't. Because in the past, other politicians were not jihadist Muslims. They were regular anti-Semites. They could be bribed. They could be politically persuaded to hold off on anti-Semitic actions. But Mamdani, he can't. He's Muslim. His anti-Semitism comes from his core. It's his ideology. It's his religion. No amount of money or persuasion can stop that. Now, while some Jews are in denial, others are in an even worse predicament. Certain sects of Jews are using the ancient method of kissing up to the Jew-hating antagonist. They invite him in, bring him into the sukkah, give him wine and sushi and herring, try to befriend him. This method has been used by many Jewish communities over the centuries and has never worked. But hey, why learn from our mistakes when we could just keep on doing them? Other communities have begun beefing up security. pushing people to learn self-defense, to buy firearms. But what all these communities have in common is one simple thing. They aren't getting the message. Hashem is doing everything possible to escort the Jews out of America and into the Promised Land so we can experience the Geula, as promised to us by God. Most people don't know this because they never actually read through the Torah. But as always, most Jews would prefer to go to the grave with luxuries and comfort, rather than have to inconvenience themselves with the responsibilities we have as God's chosen nation. Anyway, here's an interview I came across with a Jew from Borough Park about his thoughts on Mamdani.
So the question is, can there be a meeting of the minds where we agree to disagree?
Right.
And he doesn't, look, he's a very smart guy.
Right.
He's very, very talented.
Right.
He's super talented. He's up there with Obama, with the Clinton.
He's up there with Obama and the Clintons. Two fantastic examples of people who really helped out the Jews. I agree with him. He is up there with Obama and Clinton, except he's significantly worse.
He's going to govern in a way, I believe, that he'll leave enough room for people to feel like...
He believes that Mamdani will he'll take it easy. The Jews are not his main priority. He's a decent person, Mamdani. He has some controversial views, but overall, we're gonna work it out together, the Jews and him.
And he told Hasidic leaders the following, quote, "The issue of your education is something I will listen to your leaders. I will work to protect you from anyone who wants to disturb your way of life." So do you think that's one area, at least, where the community can breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that he won't, like you said, interfere in their lifestyle?
Mamdani said he won't interfere in the Jewish lifestyle. Of course. The Muslim community has a very good track record of speaking the truth. And if Mamdani told the Jewish leaders that he won't interfere in our lifestyle, then I suppose that's what he's going to do.
A debate where security funding was raised. Would you withhold funding?
Right.
And he said he would not.
Right.
That I saw. So yeah, I mean, that's a gut feeling I have in understanding human nature. I believe on the issue he'll be surprisingly cooperative.
Right.
As he should be, as any mayor should be.
Right.
He'll be surprisingly cooperative, as every mayor should be. I personally don't think that Mamdani will be surprisingly cooperative. Now, I might be alone on this feeling, but something tells me that Mamdani won't be surprisingly cooperative with the Jewish community.
And the mayor should be very concerned about the public schools. He should be very concerned about the public schools.
True.
And once he resolves that problem and he gets an A+, then he
could turn his attention to the
yeshivas.
That's really funny. So he's going to deal with the public schools. He's not dealing with the issues. Obviously, as the mayor of New York City, his first order of attention will be to fix the public school issues. Defunding yeshivos or trying to get in the way of Jews living their healthy, normal, happy lives. Obviously, that's something that's at the very end of Mamdani's list. Obviously, as mayor of New York City, the first thing he's going to do is try to correct the public school system and try to help the good people of New York. Because Mamdani's a good person, and he's a good mayor, and he'll make a fantastic leader for New York City, and obviously won't bother the Jews. Ha ha ha! This is hilarious.
Once he gets elected mayor, I promise you, without knowing what I'm saying, that there will be meetings with the mayor, and they'll be sitting around the table, and they'll smile at the end, and there'll be a statement, and there'll be another meeting, and there'll be an initiative and a policy rollout. That's what I feel. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's my gut feeling.
He could be wrong. But his gut feeling is that Mamdani, the jihadist, is going to sit around the table with the Hasidim of Borough Park, and he's going to make sure that everything runs smoothly. That's his gut feeling. Wow.
As someone who lives here in Borough Park, am I afraid of... I'm a contrarian. I actually believe that should Mamdani become the mayor, he's going to call his police commission and says, look, The one community I want you to protect is the Jewish community. The last thing I want on my plate is for someone to accuse me that I haven't been protecting it.
Right. The mayor, the last thing he wants to be accused of is not protecting the Jews. Mamdani, the jihadist, his first order of priority is to protect the Jews. This man from Borough Park is making some highly competent, very well thought out points.
And even when it comes to yeshivas, I don't think he's going to interfere. I think he's going to say, look, I have too much on my plate right now. I'll work very collegially with the yeshiva community, and they'll be surprised. That's my gut feeling without knowing anything. I've never spoken to this person in my life.
That's his gut feeling. We're all going to be pleasantly surprised at the Jew-loving Mamdani and how fantastic he treats the Jews. And of course, he said he's not going to defund the yeshivos. So that obviously means he's not going to defund the yeshivos. Anyway, I don't think I have to elaborate much as to what I feel about this man's outlook. His words speak for themselves. All I can say is I myself, along with many others who live here in Eretz Yisrael, we hope that we will never have the unfortunate opportunity of saying, I told you so. Chazak ve'ematz, my friends. May Hashem give you the wisdom to see his messages clearly. Hey guys, if you're enjoying these videos, if you're getting inspired, motivated, I ask, please share them with a friend, share them with your family. We're trying to get everyone, all the Jewish people, to move back to Eretz Yisrael. We're trying to bring the Geula. And if you aren't already, then please subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. And unlike some other companies and organizations, I'm a one-man band for the most part. I write the scripts, record the videos, edit them. I put in nothing less than 10 to 20 hours a week just making these videos. And then a lot more than that, being in touch with people, contacting people, helping people get to Eretz Yisrael. It's a lot of work, and I'm so happy to do it. It is the greatest opportunity I've ever had in my entire life to be part of making a change in Klal Yisrael. But I ask of anyone who'd like to partner with me, go to my website, HomeBoundisrael.com, make a donation. It helps immensely. All the money goes towards putting in more time, putting in more work, getting these messages out in front of more people, in front of more of Klal Yisrael. And again, every single dollar goes to making the greatest Kiddush Hashem that the world has ever seen. Thanks, guys. Chazak ve'ematz. See you next time.